to go. But so you say you're 10 hours away. I'm still because it's 3,000, not 4,000, right?
So 3,000 is the first tier. That's the 500 subs, 3,000 watch hours. The second one is 4,000.
Well, I'm because of those two events I just recently did. I'm at
What did you get on that fucking MMA one? You had to did bank on that one.
no. I did way better. So the recent one that I just did, it was 1,400 views.
Okay.
But again, my channel's still relatively small. I only have 1,800 subscribers.
But wait, what is it, like the week after when all those watch hours would get put in? You had to bank on because that was 4 hours, right?
Yeah, no, but it.
Some people watched probably half of it.
No, they did so, and that's another reason why I wanted to do more live stream events. So what they did, again, this is how I got paid. I just sent the link out, and they sent it to everybody else, and they clicked on the link, and yes, people did watch. So if I can do more events like that, and like I said, I've been real lucky. I got an event next week. I got an event in June. I got an event in September, and I got an event in November. But you have to get those watch out because what people don't know, and this was a rude awakening for me. My bad. What people don't know is if you don't get those watch hours within the 365 days, guess what? It resets. And that
Every video from there.
yes.
Yeah, dude.
So it we'll see, but anyway.
It's so hit or miss. So there's a big BMX bi-monthly that's here. I always host it, and I go live. And dude, sometimes I'll do fucking 500 watch hours. And then, like the last one, dude, I think I hit 180.
So how long do you live stream? So you're putting me on game, but how long do you live stream for?
Dude, anywhere from I think our sweet spot is like in between 1 and 2 hours.
Okay.
Dude, I did a live stream. Me and like the dude who runs the channel. He stole a bunch of wood from like a.
Camera's going, by the way.
Not okay.
Got
No,
you.
it was technically in a dumpster.
Okay, yeah.
And build like a scrap ramp. And I live us building it. And that was one of our highest ones. Got like 900 watch hours.
So
you never know.
Do you ever you said you live streamed the event as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll talk more.
Okay,
I want to get more news.
Geeking out on YouTube.
Yeah. But so typically how I do my setup, I don't do, hey, this is retro games. Like, no. What my audience sees is what they get. Again, I will tell you, like, I think your guest number 54 or 55. Honestly, I lost count. But thank you for coming to my channel. So you are a bodybuilder in the bodybuilding world and the aspect of fitness. There's there's probably going to be a couple of topics that we address that may be easier for you to talk about, but harder for other people. So for those hard topics, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, thank you. You'll probably be the first one who be as bluntly honest as you're about to be. But Mr. Gramm, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for the sit down. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, you can look at me, look at the camera, tell us who you are, age, all that other stuff, your likes, and then we'll let it flow.
Sounds good. Well, appreciate you, man. We've been trying to do this for
Almost a year.
almost a year.
And that's a fuck up on my part, people.
No. It was me as well. I had some serious health stuff come up. I was just in a real dark place. I couldn't even be in front of the camera. I couldn't even walk into a gym. So we'll get on with that. But yeah, name's Gramm. I am the elite coach of First Call Out Physiques.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. I got people all over though. Started as a bodybuilder. Kind of realized I had a lot of friends that were paying so much money for coaches. Ridiculous.
In general, or just in Fayetteville, North Carolina?
Fayetteville's bad.
Okay.
And all it turned into, like, people were like 6 weeks out from a show, not ready. And they're like, yo, my coach is leaving me hanging, like nothing's changing, like, and I'm like, brother, like, you know, I've been going to school for exercise science. I did the John Jewett University, like, because I was always interested. I was like, let me take over.
Okay.
Because, like, dude, you're paying several $100s for this, and like people are just ripping you off. So that's kind of how it started.
You as coaching.
Kind of me as coaching.
So before we get into that, let's your love for fitness. You know, I call it the gym. So did you just go straight into coaching, or were you already in the gym? Like, were you already in fitness?
Okay, so fought MMA for a while, jiu-jitsu and all
Okay,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
say less. All right.
Realized I wasn't very good to go to like a next level.
Got you, understandable.
So started competing in CrossFit a little bit while I was in the Army.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I'm actually out June 25th.
Hey, you're going to, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. Kind of had a bum knee, and it was kind of like a bucket list. I was like, man, I always worked out. I always followed bodybuilding, so I was like, let's do a show. So I hired a coach, did 3 shows with him, picked his brain like crazy. The big thing that I love about bodybuilding is everybody says something is 24 hours. Bodybuilding is 24/7.
Yes.
So you can have like, if you're married with kids, bad job, you may have a really bad day. But you know, if you did your cardio, you weighed every single meal, you ate exactly, you hit muscle failure in the gym, you can go to sleep. Like even if you had a real bad day, you can still be like, you know what, like everything in my control, like I crushed it.
Okay.
And I had a good day.
Okay.
So that is kind of what I fell in love with about it.
So with that being said, since you got introduced to it, so you did 3 shows, hired a coach. So you're very, I guess you could say, well, first question, like, what splits were you introduced to as a bodybuilder competing versus just a regular average person coming up into the gym working out?
My first, probably having your designated day for glutes and hamstrings.
Okay. Why those were?
Because like you just think like leg day, like I always thought leg day, like I'm gonna do squats, and then I'm just gonna tack on some hamstrings, especially us being males. Like we don't really care about the peach. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I
it's not something that we like.
Or if you got small calves like I do. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know.
So with that being said, like when you were introduced to bodybuilding, like what were some of the challenges you faced? Like was nutrition something hard for you? Obviously with the great physique, you overcame, you know, most of that, but like was cardio, whether it was fasted, intermediate cardio, eating at a caloric deficit, like what were some of the challenges you faced transforming your body?
So you're big in the powerlifting game, right?
You can say that.
You
I'm
say
not
you've been
a
training for a
competitor,
while.
but I
You're a
prefer
very strong guy.
I prefer powerlifting over yeah.
So you see like those guys at yourself, like you have to eat this stuff pre-workout, right? Like you get into a ritual, whether it be like gummies mid-sets or something before. And us being males, like we want to feel full, we want to feel strong. So like going to the gym and like training hard on a severe calorie deficit,
Oh my God.
like, and then like, cause the only way to really retain muscle is A, bodybuilding drugs.
Yeah.
B, is still hitting full muscle stimulus, which you
Okay.
have to hit failure.
Okay.
So like, you can't lax during prep,
Okay.
even on a 900 calorie deficit. So that's
And what does a meal like that look like? Like 900 calories a day, right?
I just meant a deficit.
Okay, yeah. So with that being said, what did your meals generally consist of?
So I'm big. If you can see, I weigh 250. I have a very small waist. See this stuff. I'm big on just everything fast digesting.
Okay.
You eat every 3 hours. Nothing is really sitting on your stomach.
So that would probably be like eggs, rice,
I'm big
chicken,
on
broccoli.
egg whites.
Okay, yeah.
Egg whites only. We do macadamia nut oil.
Okay.
Carb source, cream of rice or rice.
Okay.
Or if some people can't really digest it, but grits. Grits pre-workout is great.
Oatmeal?
Some people can handle the oatmeal.
Okay.
When it gets closer to a show, though, just because the fiber is slightly higher fat content.
Okay, got
So
you.
it's going to sit on you a little longer. I like just to get everything in, everything out. Then it's next time for another meal, everything in.
No. I'm listening. So the question for some, me, versus others, was it hard to understand the science behind the nutrition when it came to bodybuilding? You know, a lot of people really, they don't get it, which is why I feel like coaches come into play. Hey, did you eat your meals? How much of it did you weigh it? Stuff like that. Do you think it's hard for some people to retain the science behind the nutrition in bodybuilding?
A little bit, but then you can really just do like pretty much basics, man. Like in the nitty gritty, it's pretty much just keeping that protein high.
Okay.
Minimum, 1 gram per kilogram body weight. And then, where was I going? And then calories in, calories out.
Okay.
That's like pretty much like a food pyramid.
Got you.
Like that's pretty much like the basic, man. If you're doing that, if you're burning more than you're expending more than you're taking in, you're gonna lose body fat. You keep protein high, keep training hard, you're gonna retain more muscle.
Got you.
Then you can get into like carb cycling. Like obviously quad day, you're probably exerting a little more than delts.
Yeah.
So maybe you stack some more carbs for there.
Okay.
You're burning them more. Then you can deplete a little more for them other days. they're not really burning as much.
Question on your, and I'm gonna bring it full circle, but question on your comps, mind me asking, were they tested or untested comps?
Everything was untested.
Okay, so with that being said, how did that play into factor? Like how soon did you see results when you started using, respectfully, if that makes sense? Yeah.
So many people now, man, like you have to get in that calorie deficit. Like first thing is like restrict food a little bit.
Okay.
Then up cardio.
Okay.
Keep doing that until like, okay, I don't really want to make this person starve that much more. So then you can add a compound like clenbuterol. You can do a DHT derivative, androgen like Mastron on top of your test base.
So I'll call them substances, but how many substances would you say, maybe not for you, but like just people taking the body that actually are very honest, about use? Like is it one compound? Is it two,
Most of
three?
these people around here lie.
No tracking.
Yeah.
But how many have you seen people like as far as misuse? Like how much would you say somebody has probably intaken into their body, if that makes sense? Between the
Probably
test and all
close
the
to 10, man.
and the body can handle that in bodybuilding?
So technically yes, but everything is going to crash.
Okay.
That is why it's important. Like obviously you take orals.
Okay.
It's going to raise, your phase 1 detoxification in your liver, your AST and ALT.
Okay.
And so many people like don't get their blood work. Like
No,
they're gonna go
you're
toxic.
you're right.
Your creatinine in your kidneys, they're gonna start suffering. That's why so many coaches also just like immediately like, okay, we're getting on these hardening drugs. Substances.
Okay, thank you.
Substances. Oh, we're on YouTube. My bad. Substance. I forgot.
No, you're good. You're good. We needed that comic relief. So, if you don't mind me asking, like, so when you started for your very first comp, obviously, what place did you get? If you don't mind me asking.
I won my class.
Oh,
I
so
won my
you-
novice.
So whatever you definitely put in, you got you got the desired result.
It's hard though, man. Sometimes like a lot of people, I had decent turn up at this show.
Okay.
Like my second and third show were like 30 guys in my class.
Okay.
And I came in third and fourth, and I was in better shape.
Okay.
So you never know, man. Like people show up, people don't show up. Judges, it's very subjective.
But so the reason why I put it in that format, I say this respectfully, y'all don't at me, please. But no, but
we're gonna be
okay,
atting you.
no, but so I feel like this is just me, okay, and with the issues I got going on, but I feel like the reward the risk that you're taking better match the reward. And I know that might be a selfish way of looking at it, because again, it's kind of like, well, somebody can be like, everybody could take X and they still wouldn't. You're absolutely correct. But it's just like, I know people, and as far as the mental health aspect of it, I know men and female, I feel like if you're going to be doing that, I don't knock you again. And on top of that too, I've heard this from bodybuilders and powerlifters, even martial artists that said, hey, there's a cap that I didn't realize this, but there's a cap that you guys reach naturally, and this stuff is needed. I'm not promoting it, but it's just like with the to me, the reward needs to match the risk, and it sounds like from your very first comp, if you came in first, the reward matched the risk that you were taking. So with that being said, me rambling, so when you went in, as you started training and learning the politics of bodybuilding, when did things kind of take like a turn for you, if that makes sense?
Turn in what way?
You want to start with the negative or the positive? I'll let you pick which.
Let's start negative.
So
I
when,
like negative stuff, man.
oh Lord,
I like
you-
talking about that tea.
I
love
got you.
tea.
I got you. So when did things start taking a negative turn for you when you started?
So this goes hand in hand with coaching and just being around the culture, man. Bodybuilding is a very selfish sport. Powerlifting is kind of a selfish sport. It all kind of is, man. You have your goal.
Okay.
And like you can still be a good person and do all that though. But like the whole self-obsession becomes real.
With winning or using?
Just everything in the culture.
Okay.
With winning, using, even something like just even going to the gym every day. People get full of themselves. And they don't care about anything.
Like a God complex?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's bad with women, it's bad with men, everything. And I don't really like that aspect of things. Because then people get pretty fake.
So I'm asking, did your probably a dub? How did your temperament change when you started taking? Like, so compared from the beginning to now or the end or whatever, if there is one, based on your assessment and some of the medical things that happened to you, like, when did you start noticing a change? We'll say for the worst.
Dude, honestly, I stayed pretty low dose on everything.
Okay.
All the substances. I never like the whole like roid rage.
Okay.
The whole thing like that. Like people say like they'll cheat more. You know what I mean? Like they turn into dogs, man. Like I believe
Be more aggressive or more.
if you're an a-hole, they might make you more of an a-hole.
Okay.
Or they'll give you an excuse
So
to act that kind of way.
it brings out your most dominant trait.
Maybe. Or it's
Okay.
an excuse
Okay.
to do those kind of things.
Okay, so from a guy who, so basically we're calling a spade a spade. You could say it's all bullshit. Like the steroids isn't it? It was already you.
I truly don't. I mean,
Okay.
if somebody drinks heavy amount of alcohol and they turn into an a-hole, is it the alcohol or is that person?
That's truly them.
That's truly them.
Okay.
Maybe they hide it better
Okay.
when they're not drinking, but something like that's them. That's them. Like
So
I don't believe all that. You know what I'm saying?
let's get into your coaching before we go to the medical part and the withdrawal that you had to do and away from the gym. So as a coach, right? Like how many people have you coached?
So right now I have 15 full time.
Athletes? Got you,
Yes.
got you. So with that being said, I'm just asking.
I don't even know how many total.
Got you. So male and female?
Yes.
So I'm generally asking. So when do you ever have that conversation like, hey, might want to start cycling for the goals that you want to meet in bodybuilding? Have you ever recommended use or no? I'm generally asking.
So that is that's something I ask right off the rip.
Okay.
I like that's part of my questionnaire. Are you natural? Or if you're not, what are you taking?
Okay.
It's pretty crazy. A lot of people, what I'm noticing now, most people want to stay natural,
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
Okay.
I have somebody competing in September, November. My female just competed last weekend. She's natural.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll never push any substances on anybody. Like,
Got you. So with that,
once you go there, man, you can't go back. You can try to go back.
okay. What from use to natural?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's hard.
so with that being said, how would you say substance use affects that of a man than it would a woman, based on your experience and what you've seen as a coach, as a competitor, and even as an onlooker?
I mean, it's obviously way more harsh on women.
Okay.
I mean, they do super low doses, but like, man, like you can really like even your voice. You can take a substance like Anavar Primo that's very safe, but like you can destroy your voice if you're female. Like,
So
you can ruin your menstrual cycle. Like, there's so many different. You can retain water like crazy afterwards. Like,
I've had a talk with two females. I'm not going to say until they come on the channel and tell their story like you're telling yours. But why is Anavar? Why is that the most common amongst females? Is that like the weaker substance out of the other ones that are there?
for the most part, man, it doesn't really hit them testosterone receptors quite like the other one.
Okay.
It's called the DHT derivative.
Okay.
So yeah, Anavar. Honestly, I think Primo is more safe.
Okay.
It's injectable,
Okay.
which scares especially females a little more. But
So how often would somebody, female wise, based on your knowledge, how often would they have to take? Is it an every 2-week thing? Is it a daily thing?
I mean, something like Primo, you can do it twice a week.
Okay.
And Anavar is going to be an everyday thing. Half-life is only 16 to 18 hours technically.
Asking this respect, I got mental health issues, so the game recognized game. Regardless if it's male or female, what are some of the things you think that it could do to a person mentally? Like, can it increase anxiety? Can it cause PTSD symptoms? Can it cause major depression?
So,
Or relapse, if that makes sense.
me personally,
Okay.
we'll get into my health stuff. When I had to get completely off, I do think it probably triggered
Okay.
a lot of that anxiety, a lot of depression. I personally haven't noticed it like while I use substances.
Okay.
My close friends, my clients, never anything like that. It's pretty much when you get off.
Okay. So,
'Cause you get used to feeling a certain way. Even like you take something like caffeine,
yeah,
you feel amazing off caffeine.
charged up and alert.
And then like, okay, I'm not doing caffeine today. And
So-
it's like, man, I feel like
So as you were coming off, like, were you jittery? Were you more Were you jittery? Were you more alert? Were you like more easily agitated?
Not really. I think I'm an emotional guy.
Okay.
I don't get like that, man. Like I'm man enough to admit I cry. You know what I'm saying? Real men cry.
Yes, sir.
So I think it was mainly that, man. And like you see yourself going up while you're using or while you're doing something, and then you stop and you're like, man, I'm not getting better right now. I'm actually getting worse. And that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
Amen. Especially, but
that goes with injury. That goes with anything. Like you can look and be like, man, I'm not as good as I was a month ago.
You're talking about in physique, strength training in general.
Anything.
So the physical aspects and the physical tools. So like, as best you can without me rambling, like what happened? Like what was the major turn? It was very dire for you, right?
You talking about medical stuff?
When you were in the hospital and you had to take away your. So what happened? Like, was it an organ thing? What happened?
Yeah. So people who don't know me, I've been pretty much in the dark for about 2 years now.
Okay.
I went to a school called Sears School for the Army.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Pretty much one of those schools you get starved, you get beat up. Like bodybuilders should not go there.
Okay.
Somebody 260 pounds, don't go there. I was hurting real bad during it, but I made it through. I was like, all right, we got that done.
Okay.
Did some training afterwards. A week after, I got rhabdo. Rhabdomyolysis.
Okay.
You familiar with that?
Please explain to me in the
All
audience.
right. In the most part, it's a really bad muscle breakdown somewhere.
Okay.
So bad that CK gets released into the blood, overwhelms your kidneys.
Well, it's like a toxin.
Yes.
Okay.
You may hear like the news, like you're peeing like Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Like Coke.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I wasn't even training. I was actually at Element sparring someone, and I thought I broke my leg. I didn't get kicked or anything, but I was like, Gabe, man, like, dude, my leg is killing me. So then, fast forward later that day, I was like, I can't sleep. My leg hurts so bad. I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Okay.
And they admit me, give me an IV. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you have rhabdo. And I was like, rhabdo?
The
like,
fuck
I
is
drink
that?
water? Like,
Yeah.
what? I ate it for 3 hours. Like, what? So then fast forward, usually you get an IV. You might get, 10,000 units. And liquid. Usually it goes back down.
Okay.
Mine took about a year. So I started going to Duke, one of the best hospitals in the country.
Okay. Yeah.
They did every test. They're like, we don't know why you were still burning muscle right now.
Okay.
And this is me doing nothing.
Did you lose weight or anything?
I lost
Like
30 pounds total.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So
So long story, they eventually did a biopsy.
okay.
They cut a big piece of my quad open, dissected it, and I somehow got a mitochondrial myopathy.
Okay.
So it was such a shock to my system, without food, without substances. I'm not saying that it wasn't.
Got you.
That was probably part of it also.
Okay.
Just the shock to my system made my mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, become deformed.
Okay.
So usually, like every cellular activity, everything you do, you usually use ATP
Okay.
as a form of energy.
Okay.
So mine quit producing ATP,
Okay.
which then made it so I would quit utilizing glucose,
Okay.
and I would just instantly burn muscle,
Okay.
which then would override kidneys.
Okay. So
So I couldn't even really go outside.
So
Like, it was so bad. I wouldn't do anything. I would just.
So this was the first year?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
And then it took about another year. Because I think about to be 20 back in the gym, it was like just under 2 years.
So what came to a stop after during this treatment? It lost the 30 pounds. Like what all else came to a stop? Obviously, training obviously came to a stop, right?
I'm talking zero extras. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go outside for more than 10 minutes.
On topic, but off topic was the military and the chain of command kind of in your ass about that out of curiosity?
So luckily where I'm at, I'm a civil affairs guy.
Yeah.
I was treated great.
Okay.
Like they knew, I had the highest PT score. Like
Okay, so say less.
I was the Nazi there. Like
they didn't give you any form of mistreatment because of a medical condition that you could not help.
and
Got
honestly
it.
now when you see a grown man like, because I knew I was going to be getting medically retired because of this.
Got you.
I've been at 12 years. I didn't want to get out. When you see a grown man look at somebody in a uniform and start crying because they know they have to leave.
Got you.
People like, no matter how much of a hard butt somebody is, like, they're like, damn, this dude's hurting right now.
So allow me to.
There was even times where I would sit in the parking lot And I'm like, I can't even do this. And I would text somebody and they'll be like, brother, just go home.
Can I ask you a question on it? This is just,
Yes, anything, my man.
got you,
anything.
got you. So with that being said, did just this being one of the results, would you have changed anything in the past as far as your intake, as far as use, if you knew that this would be the result?
So obviously I got off of all substances well before I did a proper PCT. That's tough. Because I am at the job that I wanted. Not saying, like, it could be just a freak, like, that, none of that could have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Realistically, it might not.
Okay.
It might just be like, we're big dudes and we need to eat.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And
No.
like,
No.
when you take away food for several days, like,
Oh, it's a wrap. Okay.
the body does weird things.
Okay. So maybe not. So how about this? You probably just would have never went to SEER school.
I probably just would have been like,
Okay.
you know what, maybe this job isn't for me, so I had to go. Like, I'll just stick it on regular army. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically.
Hats off to you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so again, my last active duty date was the 27th of February. 12 years as well. I did not want to get out.
This year?
But yeah.
No way.
No. Yeah, like staff sergeant, all that other stuff. It's a little bittersweet for me because I wanted to do the full 20. But anyway.
It's tough, right?
No, it is because it
tough.
off topic a little bit, but it was just medical retirement for me. But I never saw myself, and I wasn't a stellar who a soldier or anything. It's just that the Army for me, I'm just gonna say this tidbit and bring it back onto you. The Army for me was, you could be completely bad at your job, the Army could not get rid of you.
It was real hard to get fired from that job.
Yeah, no, you really, really do. But fast forward to now, I'm good talking with athletes, powerlifting, bodybuilding, strongman, streaming, so everything worked out in the end. Cool. So for you, going through these transitions, so let's talk about you getting right back into training. So what was that like? Was it just something that was weighing heavy on your mind? You was just like, hey, I've been doing this for so long, I gotta train it. Because I'm pretty sure that first week was not fucking easy at all. Okay, let's talk about it.
Obviously, I was getting my blood work, like, not from the Army, myself getting it
Okay.
all the time. I realized that my CK, protein within the blood, creatine kinases, was starting to, like, level. Like, it was staying pretty low,
Okay.
like high normal. And I was like, all right, like, so I got back to eating every 3 hours.
Okay.
Because, man, when you don't do anything, like, I didn't even care. I'd eat pizza once a day or, like, 2 hot dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I started doing that, and then I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna start working out again.
Okay.
So, dude, I got a membership at TrueFit,
Okay.
in Hope Mills and Planet Fitness.
Okay.
And I would literally go when no one was there.
Were you skeptical?
Dude, I was like a fish out of water. I used to be like, this is my place.
Okay.
And then now it's like, man, I look like crap. I feel like crap.
Okay.
No pump. I don't want to see anybody I know.
And you didn't want nobody.
Because, dude,
Okay.
even like when you have something, man, you know how many people would come up to me during this and be like, dude, what happened to you? You lost so much weight.
You look like a shell of yourself, and that bothered.
That weighs on you hard. Here,
Okay.
every day. Every day. So I wouldn't go to Walmart. I wouldn't go anywhere.
So
I'm telling you, anywhere.
So you made sure that you trained to where you just weren't. So it was probably easier to do that then.
What's that?
Nobody saw you, out of sight, out of mind, so you didn't have to worry about that.
Right.
So one, you was on your Batman shit, respectfully, but yeah, you was on your Batman
That's
shit.
why people are seeing me now. Like, dude, you look amazing. And I'm like, man. Like,
Feels good.
it
Feels
better.
great.
It
Feels
better.
great.
It feels better.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, they didn't see that, man. Like, dude, me crying on a set of like squats at TrueFit, where no one goes at 2 a.m.
I didn't know that they were 24 hours anymore. But anyway,
You gotta pay extra, yeah, dude.
no,
Like,
I got you. So so you go through all that, and you said you've been training for 24 weeks now.
just hitting about week 20.
So
Back like full, not skipping meals, hardcore. Like,
are you back? Just asking, are you back using or no? Okay.
I am.
So allow me to ask this then. So what's one of the biggest misconceptions that you think people have about steroid use?
oof. Other than the roid rage, man, it has to be just the roid rage, man. Like, especially when you hit over 30.
Okay.
Like, granted, I don't abuse.
Okay.
Okay, I take 400 milligrams of testosterone, and I take 200 milligrams of Deca right now.
So allow
Which
me
is pretty low compared to.
allow me to ask this. So I'm not calling anybody out. Gotta say that now. But so the people, whether it's here or at other gyms, do you feel like there's a lot of misinformation being put out about steroids?
100%.
So what is your thought process on that when it comes to that? When you see the misusers, when you see people who don't claim to use, but they clearly, and I don't knock anybody. Don't knock anybody. You do what you do, but like for teenagers and the younger generation who are just getting into the gym, like what is your thought process on that when they're getting misinformation from abusers, if that makes sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, like a lot, like you have to have everything else in line first.
Okay.
Like you have to have your diet in line, your training. Like it's not a band-aid.
Okay.
That's what you see a lot of people around. You're like, yeah, he probably uses, but he also still kind of looks like crap because like they just blast stuff.
Yeah.
And then the big misconception around here, not naming any names, but people say like the whole like, I get TRT doses, I do TRT doses that I know firsthand that are straight lies.
Say
Just
less.
be honest, everybody know, like.
So, damn. So with that being said, my thing is it easy to get? Is it, especially testosterone, right? And that's just the base. That's not it. Well,
100%.
it's not, but it is a steroid. But that's just the base. Like, do you think it's because the high level of misuse that there is? Do you think the reason why it's like that because it's easier to get to? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean it's so easy, and then like it's almost getting like publicized now. Like how many trend memes do you see a day?
Well, a lot
You
actually.
see them all day, man. Like I mean, just like it's kind of just like Coca-Cola, right? Back when they used to say Coke was everywhere. Coca-Cola everywhere. Let's get a Coke, bro.
So with
Now
that,
it's- get trend because there's trend everywhere.
with that being said, but like, do you think if people just promoted like they should, like careful use instead of misuse, the issues that we see in our community, when I say our community, I'm talking the powerlifters, the body, but whatever, do you feel like that would fix the issues within our community here in Fayetteville as far as the misusers? And again, clearly it's more than one, it's a bunch of them, it's a group, we know this, but it's just like, do you feel like, again, and again, and it's not like, I don't expect somebody to be like, hi, I'm XYZ, I use steroids, but this, that, and whatever. I'm not expecting you to do that, but like you, as I'm talking in circles, the reason why I'm asking like this is because, again, some of us are influencers. And again, I know me, I would never want to give out misinformation that can be a detriment to somebody, especially somebody young, right. You know? So with that being said, do you feel like if proper use was promoted, it wouldn't be as big as an issue as it is out here in Fayetteville, North Carolina?
Yes, but I think people are always still going to be like, man, I gained 20 pounds this month. When they're, man, I'm going to double this.
To get stronger for the gains.
So I don't think it will ever.
So you think
Honestly,
the negative?
what I do though, man, like I get a bunch of people who DM me all the time, like their cycles and everything, even side effects they have. The best thing to do is just not manage, but just like try to get rid of those side effects. Like man, like I get all the time, you know, people with puffy nipples, man. Gynecomastia is starting.
Okay.
Like Gramm, dude. Like I'm doing this, this, and this. My nipples, blah blah. It's like, all right, buddy, just let's try to bump it down a little bit.
Okay.
Keep bumping it down just a little bit. See if that still helps. Then try add this AI. And I feel that is the best way that I personally have gotten people from maybe they were abusing to now they're taking a safer dose and they're not dealing with these negative side effects.
So how about this? Because not everybody has a coach. Do you feel like coaches are giving misdirection on how to properly use as well?
Yes. Well, first off, if anybody ever has any questions about this, you can DM me and I will gladly help you.
Video will be tagged.
Right.
Information will be tagged.
Half the people that come at me like that, those kind of questions, like, no, I'm just doing a good deed. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
But yeah, so many coaches right off the rip, they just give them all these drugs.
Okay.
And then yes, they're getting great results because like they're starting to diet a little bit, obviously, but they're also on a bunch of drugs. Like you can't go down from that.
Do you think that these coaches promote it because they're trying to make the best product and
Facts.
brand.
Yes.
So isn't there a risk to that as a coach? Because you don't want, I don't think as a coach you would want that attached to you, right? Like my coach, well, not my coach, because people can't make you do anything, but this coach influenced me to take this, and now I'm fucked up here. This is what my body looks like now. Don't you think there's a huger risk factor for a coach than just a person who doesn't know misusing?
Yeah, but a lot of the coaches don't care, man. Like enough people, like there's coaches around here that are bad. Like
Okay.
they're not good. They overcharge. They don't know what they're doing. They have other coaches
Coaching
that
them while
do
they're
their-
coaching.
Like
Yeah.
I don't get it, and these people still have. You know what I'm saying? They're still.
So how about this? Do you think it's like that because, as far as bodybuilding, do you think it's like that in bodybuilding because of the politics of bodybuilding?
That I mean, and everything's just like smoke and mirrors, man.
Okay.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Like how you could talk somebody up.
Okay.
You could, you know what I mean? If like some dude, like you're a pretty big dude, see you at the gym every day. If some dude sees me at the gym every single day,
Okay.
and every day I pretty much bring it up to him. Eventually he might be like, yo, man, maybe I will hire you. You know what I mean? He doesn't know anything about anything.
So allow me to.
Which I don't like that. I don't like that. If you see me on my page, I promote my people, and that's it. People have a question usually, I'll answer it. And that's usually how it builds in.
So allow me to ask this question for, you said 15, correct, earlier?
Yes.
So what is your expectation and goals for them as they get on the stage? Because you are training them to get on the stage, right?
Most of them, yes.
Okay, so what are their expectations of you as a coach?
So I'm a little different because right off the rip, I tell them like, listen, like your success is my success.
Okay.
I'm going to be equally as passionate about your goals than you are.
Okay.
So like I might get pissed off sometimes if you go off track.
Yeah.
That's part of me. Like you can take that, you can take it or leave it, but that's
Gotcha.
just who I'm going to be.
Okay.
And then and like the bodybuilding, it's so subjective.
Okay.
You and I might be equally in shape on stage.
Okay.
The judge likes African Americans
Okay.
more than white dudes.
Okay.
Whoever has their eyes more on you more.
Okay.
I may be in better shape, or vice versa.
Okay.
Obviously, my eyes are going to be to somebody else, even there. So it's so subjective. So all I can promise them is they will be in their best package on stage.
So how about this? Since you did say, this is the disdain I have about bodybuilding. That is a great example of what I actually, not the race thing, but just a judge's liking.
Even a female, like
Yeah.
females. I like dark haired girls. There's a blonde that's in way better shape. I'm looking at that black haired girl more.
On the stage when
And
you're
it's
judging.
messed up, but like that's just human nature, right?
So
She's in first.
You have people like, there's so much power in that, especially if they're chasing pro cards, correct?
Yo, right?
So my thing is, I'll say this, that's why I have the disdain, not the bodybuilders, but the politics of bodybuilding, because again, how do you appease people like that? In powerlifting, regardless of the dumb shit that's going on in it right now, you can't take away from somebody's strength. You just can't do that.
You lifted more than me.
Yeah, so
You beat me.
yeah,
Like,
so
there's no, like,
so but how does hearing all this, right, from the usage and the politics of bodybuilding, how does one really like want to, and this is not a cheap sport. A lot of people come in, and then you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not going to come in this sport and even if you do win at the top, it's not going to make you rich overnight, because what you're putting back into, but anyway, like, you see the frustration I have with the concept of bodybuilding?
100%. I do. I'm right there with you.
Okay, so how does one, like, again, based on the expectations that they may have with you, yes, you're doing the best practice, but how does bodybuilding like stay relevant and pure if that's some of the schematics they got to face in that realm of bodybuilding?
I mean, people will never not want to get on stage and show off.
True. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like, it is still a competition. I'm not saying it's all jaded. It's all like that, And then it goes back to like the grind of it. Like I said, like every day, you're doing everything you can. You go through this whole process, how hard it is to still get on stage, to still do that.
I got you.
It's still a competition. You worked hard at it. Like, so like, if people just forget about the judges, just like I came in 100%, It's in their hands now. It doesn't matter if I come in first or third. Next show, I'll come in better. That's all you can do.
So 2 is
I get probably more mad than my competitors because sometimes I get super hot. If they don't do as well as I thought, like
based
I'm like,
on,
"Oh, homie, I gotta
but,
leave
but
right
based
now."
on them or what the judges say,
The
because
judges, yeah. And then you got to think, all right. Once again, I don't care. I'll talk smack. So, do you think this is fair? There is a company that sponsors every North Carolina bodybuilding show. That is a coaching company.
okay,
They have competitors at every show, a bunch.
okay,
Do you think that's a conflict of interest?
yes,
Right?
okay,
That is huge, especially here in North Carolina NPC.
okay. So
So that's another layer. Like they're sponsoring every show, and their athletes are on the show. Come on.
So do you
Come
think
on,
they
guys.
do that because of social media and exposure?
I mean, exposure. I grant it's great exposure. I'm
Okay.
not saying that, but like, there has to this guy's literally paying for this show, and it's a toss-up between me and you. You may look, but they're close, but he's a chain. He's that company's guy.
So they're going to give him the win.
I'm not saying they do that, but I'm saying if I ran the show, it'd be hard not to do that.
So how about this? Let me ask you this question: do you?
And we get it all today.
So it really does depend on who you know.
That's just
Depending on
my
where.
opinion. It's my
Okay.
opinion.
So allow me to two-part. I have a couple of questionnaires.
You just got questions up there?
No, I do because again, I got you.
I like that.
But these are my own personal questions. I wanted to make sure I came prepared, so I asked some AI some questions. Shout out AI.
Shout out
So,
AI.
what are some things you like about bodybuilding, and what are some things you dislike about bodybuilding, and what do you want to see change in bodybuilding?
Back to the square one, the every single day thing.
Okay.
And then even my client this last weekend, she's been going through a lot in the past year, like really affecting her self-esteem, and her getting on stage.
I've heard that a lot with the females, so that really is a big thing.
Yo,
Okay.
they be a mess before a show.
Okay.
Mess. But then after, like, getting on stage, seeing how great they look, man, like, that could change somebody's life, realistically, or even somebody who's really out of shape. Like, what's a better, like, you want to lose 30 pounds. You're not very motivated. You sign up for a show to be 3/4 naked on stage. That might give you that extra motivation to really make some life changes.
Okay. So I'm gonna get into these questionnaires. It's just like 10 of them. So again, AI, I didn't type these, but I wanted to make sure I got some good quality talking.
AI.
Yeah, I got you. So what are some alternative strategies for achieving muscle growth and performance gains without using steroids, in your opinion?
I was just high protein, eating every 3 hours, hitting true muscle failure.
Okay.
Like true muscle failure.
Where you can't even pick that shit up
You can't even pick that crap
or
up.
walk out. Yeah, I
Or
got you.
walk out, like true muscle failure. And progressive overload, obviously.
How do you balance, in your own words, how do you balance bodybuilding with other aspects of your life or your lifestyle?
I have a son, that's 2. He's still number 1. There's never any time, like, I don't have to go to a gym at a certain time. I'll go to a gym after. I drop him off. Or if I have to eat my meals, I'll eat my meals with him. So you have to remember what is actually important in life, not just hitting, you know what I'm saying? There's more to life.
Question number 3: how essential is fasted cardio in bodybuilding?
Ooh, I love fasted cardio. That's a good question. Good question, AI.
Yeah, got you. Appreciate you.
All right, so it is calories in, calories out, but like you can oxidize more fat doing fasted cardio.
Okay.
Even something natural like high dose L-carnitine, the amino acid,
Okay.
will help you oxidize more fat. And you have no glucose in the blood. Yes, love fasted cardio. Good question.
Appreciate it. How does stress and trauma manifest physically in the body, and what are the long-term effects on mental health?
Obviously, cortisol is the number one. You're going to retain water. You're going to feel like crap. Everything. And even that can even exacerbate you being depressed. Like me, right?
Amen. Appreciate you. Question number 5: what advice would you give to someone just starting out in bodybuilding?
Oh, eat your food. Eat every 3 hours and get a plan.
What about as far as splits and coaching Out of curiosity. This is just me.
I don't think I don't even like coaching like off season. If somebody has like muscle and they obviously know what they're doing, I personally don't even feel right taking their money.
Really?
That's
No.
That's
Well,
dead serious.
got you.
Because
Yeah.
you're not doing that many changes. Like, okay, you want to gain 10 pounds. Okay, I'm not competing. I have 6 months. We work your calories. We make you a plan. For me, every single meal also has the macros.
Okay.
So if you get in a bind, if you don't feel like this, like, go ahead, man. Just try to eat close to it. Okay, your weekly average, you're going up 0.3 pounds. Cool, we'll keep that.
Is that
It
a fasted
stops.
rapid growth out of curiosity?
It's fine if you're not getting fat.
Okay, got you.
Okay, if you stop that, you're actually going down. Okay, we're going to bump up calories 300 a day. See where that is. You don't really need a coach for that.
Got you.
Maybe a mentor. A lot of free resources. But
YouTube, but yeah.
YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like,
On leg day, how many sets and reps do you typically do?
so right now I'm trying. I'm not a big push-pull leg guy.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm trying it out.
Okay.
So I think I'm doing roughly 9 quad
Okay.
and 9 hamstring each leg day.
Okay. Ugh.
So it's like 18.
That's pain. That sounds painful.
It's not that. I mean, I think I used to do way more when I did like actual quad focus day.
Is it still to muscle failure as well?
Yes.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
But it's only 9 and 9. Like
Okay.
9 sets to that. Like,
I got you. All right. What are your favorite exercises for each muscle group? So how about this? Because we have a lot of muscle groups. So for your delts, your chest, and your quads, what are your favorite muscle?
quads, 100% squats.
Okay, there we go.
Delts, I'm a big high rep side lat raise guy. When you hit that failure, just do partials. See it right there, getting a pump.
Got you.
Chest, it honestly depends what you're lacking.
Okay.
I'm a big incline guy.
Yes.
Slight incline.
Got you.
Not huge incline.
A dumbbell,
People be hating
barbell,
on
Smith
that.
machine.
100% dumbbell.
Okay, got you.
Back, I don't know what I'm feeling, man. I like a good T-bar row.
Okay.
Some kind of gauges everything.
Say less. Da. How do bodybuilders manage or mitigate the side effects of steroid use? This is question 8.
So I think it's really bad to try to like counteract the negative side effects. You should try to eliminate the side effects first.
Okay.
Which if that's bumped down or whatever you're doing. Obviously, whatever you're doing, your body can't handle it. So you should probably try to taper down a little bit. If you can't really do that, then obviously, you do AIs, anti-estrogen, anti-progesterones, but those also can crash your IGF-1 levels. You're
So
taking more things.
with those, are you talking the estrogen injectables or actual orals?
They're all oral.
Okay.
It's all oral.
So
They're all like cancer medications, technically.
no, so with that being said, like, are they really effective like that?
Yeah, 100%.
For my knowledge and my audience, but so how long would somebody have to 8, 16, 24 weeks?
For what?
The estrogen.
Dude, you'll feel that probably within 5 hours. As long as you don't let it get too bad.
No, I mean, how long do you have to stay on it is what I mean.
It depends if you aromatize more or not.
Okay.
Safe is taking it once a week. If you're
Okay.
kind of more, usually typical white males.
Got you.
Usually Irish genes, man. They usually can't handle the substances like a lot of other ethnicities. So we actually have to take them maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
Question 9. We're getting to the stuff. I apologize.
Have a blast.
What are some common mistakes you think beginners make in bodybuilding?
Taking the drugs right off the rip. Taking the substances right
I am
off
so.
the rip.
I appreciate that.
Substances right off the rip. Sorry, YouTube.
No.
Sorry, YouTube.
So how about this, right? How long should someone wait? Please don't let this be question 10. How long should someone wait if they get in the sport of bodybuilding? How long should someone, your personal assessment, how long should someone wait before they start?
It's kind of a double-ended question. Mm-hmm. It depends how long they've actually been like working out for, the progress they made, if they have everything else, dialed in. It's a tough one.
Loaded question.
It's kind of a loaded question.
I got you. Last one.
Early 20s though, like I don't think you should ever like.
So 30s, high 30s at least.
If you're like some freak that might go pro,
Like a
in
Sam
your
Sulek?
mid-20s, yeah.
I got you.
Okay, like obviously, like, he's just wasting time. You know what I'm saying? Like, those anomaly type people.
Honest assessment of this interview. How do you think I did asking you these questions and then this is my 10th question.
This is fun, man.
Yeah. What do you think I need to do better as a host and for my podcasting outside of equipment and an area? What would you say I need to do better when I come on and I ask people questions about their niche, whether it is bodybuilding, powerlifting?
I think you should give your own perspective a little more.
Okay. So,
Because I actually wanted to, when you were talking about getting out of the Army, it's something that maybe we could have related to, and it could have spun into something else that somebody else is dealing with. I actually wanted to hear you, yeah.
so allow me to say this, because we do have the time. The reason I will try to incorporate that, I can take a critique. The reason why I didn't want to go off on a tangent is because, so people I see in here, you guys are my reason why I continue. I'm not a competitor, but there are some people, you got good influences and you got bad influences, whatever. But your story is going to inspire someone. This is networking in a sense. And the reason why I try not to put it on myself, I want to make sure my audience understands why I do what I do and why I come in here. Again, I don't think I'll ever get on the stage. I know I'm not going to ever get on the platform. But again, I've learned, you guys, bodybuilders, you sacrifice too much. You give too much. Y'all psyche, and I say this with love, for some people who don't have that resiliency, y'all psyches are beyond fucked up sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
And again, if you don't, I'm gonna cut it. And if you don't have that social network, I've seen bodybuilding do some really, especially to the women, but mentally do some shit to y'all. But I will work on that. Again, as I started, I want to say again, thank you for allowing me to do this interview. Anybody you want to shout out before we cut it?
No, man, we good.
No. I mean like bodybuilders or anything.
No, we good. I'm shouting you out, man. You're doing great things.
Hey,
This is a year in the making.
Mr. Graham.
A year in the making.
Mr. Graham, appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, and we are out.
It was fun.
Appreciate it.